Hello dear students, let us start our next point, consequences of migration. In previous video we have seen causes of migration. Now let us see what are the effects of migration. First of all, why do people migrate? Again we have to go in that causes. So it's one more cause is mentioned here, that is uneven distribution of opportunities. There are opportunities in some states, in some countries, but there are there are no opportunities or low opportunities. See here, there are more opportunities in some states, so there are low opportunities in some states, as well as low safety measures in some states. So where there are low opportunities, where there are low safety measures, people leave that state and move to the another state. Which another state? Where there are higher opportunity and better safety measures. Because of migration, or we can say migration creates both benefits and problems for both the states, from where the people move to other state and where people reach. So those states where there is outward and inward migration, both the states will face benefits and problems, that we will see. So let us see what are the consequences of migration. Economic consequences related to money, social consequences in society, some changes will occur. Then cultural consequences, cultural changes will also occur. Political consequences and demographic effect on its population. So that consequences let us see here. So the first consequence is economic consequences. In economic consequences, the first important part is remittance. It is related to money. Remittance means amount which is sent by migrants to their source region, to their hometown. Wherever they move from that particular place, they send particular amount to their family. So that amount is very much important. India is receiving large amount from our international migrants. Most of the migrants from Punjab, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they are moving to other countries. And how much amount they are sending? They are sending 11 billion US dollars. That is the number of 2002. In 2002, India received foreign exchange of 11 billion. So this is very huge amount. These three states, Punjab, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they are receiving most of the amount out of this 11 billion. Most of the amount which is received by these three states, that is nearby 7 or 8 or 9 billion. So out of 11 billion, maximum amount is received by Punjab, Kerala and Tamil Nadu from their international migrants. Now let us turn towards internal migrants. The remittance which is sent by internal migrants, that is very meager, that is very low in compared to international migrants. But still it is very much important in the role, or it is very much important in the growth of economy of source area. Maybe that amount is very meager, that amount is very small, but the amount which is sent by the migrants from one state to another state, that is also very much important. Now the most important point is, why do people send money to their hometown, to their basic region, to their source region? So people send money to their family just for food, most important requirement, repayment of debts. Most of the people have taken loan from banks or maybe for zamindars or maybe from landlords, so that loan they have to return. So repayment of debts, then treatment, medical treatment. Maybe anyone from their family is not feeling well, so that amount for treatment, then amount for marriages, then children's education, then agricultural inputs and construction of houses. So these are the important causes for that migrants are sending money. Now most of the people, those who migrate, those poor people from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, those who migrate to other state, even Himachal Pradesh also, those who migrate to other states, and whatever amount, whatever remittance they send, that remittance is very much important. That remittance works as lifeblood for their economy. That amount is very much important for these states. Now in next thing, such migration is also very much useful. We have already studied about green revolution. Dear students, you have studied in class 9 green revolution. What is green revolution? Green revolution means production of wheat, production of rice that was increased suddenly due to modern farming methods. So we have studied that maximum labors are also required. What were the states where this green revolution was that states are Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. But the labor which were required for that labor came from eastern parts of Uttar Pradesh, then Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Orissa. So most of the labor from these states, they moved to Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh, and these laborers are responsible for green revolution in these states. Migration also affects over the huge metropolitan cities. You are aware that most of the people migrate from small villages from rural to urban. So that rural to urban migration is affecting over the cities. That cities are becoming overcrowding. Most of the slums are constructed there. See here, development of slums. That is unregulated migration. Aniyamit, that is not regular, unregulated migration. People are migrating, living there for few months and moving back. So for that few months they are not able to take room and home on rent. For that purpose they are constructing one small illegal slum. So the development of slum, that is biggest problem, as well as overcrowding of that states. That states are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Delhi. These states and union territory are overcrowded. There are huge slums, and due to that we are facing so many problems. Nowadays we are discussing about corona. So in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, there is a biggest slum in Asia, Dharavi, and that slum is facing the problem of corona. So if we are successful to stop such unregulated migration, then we can stop such problems. And this unregulated migration could be stopped to provide it could be stopped by providing opportunities in that states. Our next point is demographic consequences. Demographic consequences effects on population, effects on its number, effect on its age and sex composition. So let us see here, migration leads to the redistribution of population. Redistribution, population is getting reshuffle. People are moving from one area to another area, and just because of that all things are getting disturbed. Most of the cities are getting overpopulated. Population growth of cities due to the migration from rural to urban. Most of the people are migrating from rural to urban centers, and just because of this the urban cities are becoming overcrowded. Which people and what particular age group is migrating, that is also important part. Particular age and particular skill selective out migration. Particular age, working age group from 15-16 to 59. This age group migrates in larger proportion, and especially male. So when most of the working age group will have out migration, then so many things will change in that area. And skill selective, those who are having skill, those who are having particular knowledge, they also move from rural to urban area. So there will be problem in that rural area, because the demographic structure of that rural area will be totally changed. Its male population will decrease, its sex ratio, gender ratio, its density, that number will also change. Density we have studied, number of people living in one unit area, 1 square unit area, that may be 1 square kilometer and 1 square mile. Now most of the people are migrating from backward areas. So which areas are having high out migration? That let us see here, high out migration. That high out migration is from Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Eastern Maharashtra, not Western. Western is developed, industrialized area, but in Eastern Maharashtra there are no opportunities. So from these areas most of the people are moving to other states, and that because of that serious imbalances in age and sex composition are created. Serious imbalance is created in these states. Age composition, working age is moving out, that's why its working population is decreasing, as well as sex composition. Most of the male are migrating, that's why is male female ratio, male female number, male female population, that is also getting disturbed. So this is our second point, demographic consequences.